So I'm sitting here watching these clips.
Now, a BBC World Service investigation has found that Steven Bartlett is amplifying harmful health misinformation on his top podcast, Diary of a CEO.
Right, time for an update on my sugar-free challenge, which I've been on now for 3 weeks.
Sugar is not bad for you. It's bad for your teeth. This is just how life is. And then I started using a TRT service. There'll be a link in the description where you can find out more information.
All three of these guys blew up online in the fitness industry. And now they're either changing their stance, backtracking, confusing people, or just being called out. But what does that say? In all honesty, the fitness industry, I've been in it for 10 years. And the reason why I'm in it is because I was much like a lot of you, extremely confused. What's right and what's not, what's moral and what's not. So between Steven Bartlett getting investigated, Joe Wicks cutting out sugar and kind of encouraging people to do that when there's absolutely no need, and demonising it, or even someone that I know and actually mentors me in content creation, business, and James Smith getting called out for launching a drink, a business coaching program, and the latest is TRT. I might do a separate video on that. But regardless of what your thoughts on any of these people are, I'm going to kind of tell you why it's happening. And it's all about the confusion funnel. The more you're confused, the more money we make as an industry, and that's just a fact. The more people stay out of shape, the more money we can make, which is why GLP-1s are so disruptive, and the big food industry is now actually making food more hyper-palatable to kind of surpass the effects of a GLP-1. So the actual confusion isn't a problem with the industry, it's a planted, intentional bug to make money. So let me explain how the confusion funnel works. The more you're confused, the more you go searching for a product. Then all these different products will come out. Steven Bartlett, to give you an example, half of his guests all contradict each other. Some say sugar's bad, some say it's calories, some say it's hormones, the list goes on. And spreading this misinformation is harmful, and he is getting investigated. And I do have my own personal thoughts on that, but I kind of try to keep that away and just give you the facts of what's going on. When you're sold a product and you don't get the solution and you don't get the result you're looking for, what then happens is you feel guilty, you feel as if it's your fault because all the social media does is kind of make you feel that way, and then you go back up to the top of the funnel. More confused, less trust in yourself, and then eventually you'll reach breaking point, buy another product, and you just go back up to the top of the funnel and it repeats itself. And I wanted to make this more of a priority on this channel, to just be as transparent as I can, because I've gained maybe a couple of 100,000 followers across like short form content, and I enjoy long form content. I've not got any following on it yet, but I think it actually allows me to get my point across. A lot of these things are taken out of context, 30 seconds clips, which is why a lot of the time they get hate. I'm sure Joe Wicks actually has some pretty good intentions about telling people about how to cut more sugar out their diet, not cut it out completely, etc. And I do experiments too. I've cut out stuff, I've even done a GLP-1 experiment, which is my next point. GLP-1s are now exposing the industry. But then you've also got James Smith, who's now getting called out for the fact that he is launching a TRT company. But what I will say about James, and I'll give my kind of personal opinion on him, is that whether you like the guy or not, one thing he has been is transparent. So like, he's been transparent about taking drugs, steroids in the past.
Do you want to do half a tab of LSD? It's like, yes. So we did half a tab of LSD.
He calls out other people for not being transparent about it. He's seen how TRT has changed his life. At the end of the day, there always needs to be regulations, the same as with GLP-1s, and they're maybe not fully regulated yet. But if something has the evidence behind it and it's going to help you, I think with the right support, guidance, morals, and knowing who to trust is super important. And just in case James watches this, he's not one of the bad guys. But I just wanted to preface the fact that the more confused you are, the more you see all this positive for something, negative for something, there's no cutting out of something. It's going to come down to the basics, and it always has. Self-development, habits, self-awareness, awareness around food, and doing something that lasts longer than a few weeks. So I'm not here to bash any of those guys, because if I'm honest, it'd be good to eventually get invited into Steven Bartlett's podcast, even though I think a lot of his guests are a pile of shite. And I think Joe Wicks seems like a nice guy, but I think his guidance is misplaced. And I actually know James Smith, and I don't want him to kick me out of the programme, so I'll not be negative here. So my last point was on GLP-1s. I took them for a month, lost about 21 pounds. I'm now about maybe 6 weeks after it, and the weight has come back on. Not fully, but I do think that's for a separate video. So if you're interested in watching it, I'll link it up here. There's some completely free recipes and things down below. Been doing this for 10 years, coached thousands of clients. And if you do want some help from a person who's not just trying to sell you a product and actually work with someone one-to-one, then you can go down below as well. If not, and you enjoyed this video, stick around. I'm going to be posting a lot more on here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.